Hi everyone, it's Krista and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not new, hello again. So this is my channel. I love to do DIYs on a budget, Dollar Tree DIYs, thrift flips, rustic, farmhouse, wreaths, and seasonal decor. So if you like what you see here, you know what to do. Hit that red subscribe button. Also leave me a comment. I love to hear what you guys think, and leave me a thumbs up. That helps my channel. You can also follow me over on Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, and Facebook. But right now it's all about summer DIYs. And these ladies are so talented, and I'm so happy that I'm joining them for this wonderful collab. It's from DIY from House to Home, Jubilee, and Kelly's Creations, and myself. More about that in a minute, but first, DIY number one. So the first DIY I am going to use this Mermaid wreath frame from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use that sand dollar that you get at Dollar Tree, the little starfish, and then these really cool sequins that you always see at Dollar Tree. I'm like, what am I going to do with these? Well, guess what? I'm going to make a wreath with them. So what I'm doing is I'm taking two of the blue ones, because you only get one of these in each package at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just gluing them together so that I have enough to go all the way across on the actual frame. So next I'm going to flip it over, and now I'm going to start gluing along the edges of the wreath frame, and I'm just going to keep gluing it down. Now this did pull up sometimes with the glue sticks, so I did go back in later, but I don't show it on camera, with some of the super glue gel glue that you get at the Dollar Tree as well. So you might want to do that, because that's what I did. I wanted to make sure this stayed. This is getting hung up in my daughter's bedroom because she loves mermaids. So, and I did go along the edges on the inside of the frame too, so those little grooves. Then I decided that I wanted to see those, okay, because it's supposed to like really show on the mermaid. So I took this cotton twine that you could get at the Dollar Tree. They do have this, and I just went along the edges. You can use jute twine, you can use whatever twine you want, but this is what I had, so this is what I used. And then I did go in between, like on the grooves, you know, where you see the little wavy parts of the mermaid tail. I did that as well, just so it kind of like shows up a little more. And then I cut off all the excess with my scissors like that. Now I'm going to take a white piece. This is, they have all different colors. They have pink, purple, white, this peachy color, and blue. So that's what I'm using. I'm not using the peach. I'm using the white, the blue, and the, it's like a violet purple right there. And then I went along the bottom of the tail and did the same thing. So next I took a little piece of felt to help secure down my sand dollar and my starfish better to the wreath frame, because I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to fall off. So it had a better way to adhere to that. So that's what I did for there. And then I just used hot glue to glue it down. And I also put my hand underneath, you know, to make sure I was pressing hard so that it would stay put. And these stayed really, really well. They're not going anywhere. And then I'm going to come in with some of that the stuff that you use like for wreaths, and I took two different colors. That I have so much of this stuff, you guys, because I make wreaths a lot. I have an Etsy shop, so I do make lots of wreaths. And what I did is I just took it and I kind of looped it back and forth, and then I took a piece and I'm going to tie it off in the center to keep it together. And I just used white and the aqua blue color that I had, and then I took some of this mesh. It's like it's not really mesh, it's like a spool. And I just took it and I cut it in a long strip, and then I'm just going to gather it up with my fingers in the center like you just saw me do with both pieces, and it kind of looks like a little bow now, look like a little ruffle bow. And then I'm going to take those and attach those as well to the actual you know, to those, I don't know what you call these. I forget what it's called. But I attached it to those that I looped together. And it's like a tube. It's like tubing. And then what I did is I just cut off the excess once I tied it in a knot again. And we're going to put that in the corner of our little mermaid here. And I think this is so cute. It came out so adorable. My daughter absolutely loves it. And yeah, You guys got to let me know what you think down below in the comments. So yes, today is all about quick and easy summer DIYs. And it's DIY from house to home, and it's Jubilee DIY and Kelly's creation, sorry about that, and myself. And we're just going to do a whole bunch of summer DIYs for you guys. Really simple and easy. So next, I'm going to take some antique wax and some plaster paint. Some of these seashells, some of those little marbles, like stones from the Dollar Tree. Styrofoam, this metal piece that is a shell. One of these planks from the Dollar Tree. And yeah, and now first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the metal piece. And I'm going to use my plaster paint. And I use a little dauber to paint metal or glass because it gives it texture. And it also doesn't leave streaks when you're painting it. And you don't have to paint like 3 coats. So you're saving yourself on paint as well. So that's a little tip. And so next I'm going to go in with my antique wax. And I'm going to go along the edges of it. And then, because I want it to look like a seashell. And then I'm going to go over the top of it just to kind of define those grooves and make it look like a seashell, right? Because seashells are not perfectly white. And then I'm cutting off the string because this is normally a hanger, but we're going to use it as our base. And we are going to glue down our styrofoam piece on the top of that and the seashell. So I'm going to use the seashell to help me. I'm going to use the styrofoam to help hold up my seashell so that I don't have to use Jenga blocks or anything. So what I did is I glued that piece down. Now I'm going to glue that seashell against, and on the bottom I did put some glue as well, and it's going to hold it up. Now I'm going to go in with some Spanish moss, and I am going to go over the top of that styrofoam and kind of like over the sides just a little bit, because I'm going to put down a bunch of stuff on this, and we're going to make like a little underwater scene on this. And I did something like this for Easter with little bunnies, ceramic bunnies that I got from Hobby Lobby. And I made like a little bunny garden, and they came out so cute, you guys. And I sold them at my craft shows, because I do craft shows. And people just absolutely love this because they're just so cute. And this underwater scene is adorable. I absolutely love the way it turned out. So then I used a lot of hot glue, as you could see, to glue down that moss and to make sure it stayed in place. So now I took out all my seashells that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I was fortunate enough to find one of these bags that had all different kinds of seashells in it, which was amazing. So if you see those bags, pick them up. You never know when you're going to use them. And those picks are from the Dollar Tree as well. They came out with those this year, which I love. And they're like underwater. They look like seaweed, and there's a seahorse on them. And I decided to put 2 of the shells together and take one of these pearls that I had in my stash, which I also got these from Dollar Tree. And I decided to make a seashell with the pearl in the middle, kind of sticking out. And I'm going to put that like on top. You'll see in a minute. But I glued the pearl to the edge, and then I glued both of the seashells together, but so that you could see the pearl. Look how cute that is. I love that idea. And then I'm just going to start, I took the picks apart so that I could put them in the way I wanted. And I just, used my wire cutters and pulled them apart. And now I'm just kind of sticking them into my styrofoam. And then I also used a piece of it to kind of hide those holes that are on the top of that seashell that we painted. And I'm just going to cover that up with one of these seaweed pieces on the pick, and that's going to cover up the holes. So there you go. Really simple. And then I stuck my little seahorse in, and these come right on the picks. And then there's another pick that I got that has seashells on it as well. And I just love the way these picks look, you guys. They're so like high-end looking. Like really, they are. Like Dollar Tree is definitely stepping it up. And I just stuck the seashell one in too. And I just made it to where I liked it, I just kept going until I liked the way it looked. And it was for me. So that's all you do. You do you. That's what I always say. And then I stuck the seashell down with the pearl on the top. And now this big seashell was in one of the packs. I was like, oh, I'm using that. And it covered up a lot, on the side. And then I had these really pretty stones. They're like stones and marbles, but they're like marble looking. And they're like the flat stones that you could get at the Dollar Tree, but they're more like marbles. I guess they're not stones. And I just stuck those down. And then that one I got was from the fairy collection, that one seashell that you see there. And I stuck that down. And then I just kept going. And I just kept going until I filled all of that area up. And I just kept going with the little marbles that were flat. And I put those down in a couple areas. And it just made it really look like the bottom of the ocean. And these seashells were all different colors. I love that I was able to grab this pack. And if I see another one, I should have grabbed two. I really should have. So then I went back and I took my Spanish moss in any areas that are little nooks and crannies that you could see. I stuck a little bit of this Spanish moss down with some hot glue. And I did that all the way around until I was done. And then I went around the edges and I just kind of trimmed whatever I needed to trim up. And that's it, you guys. Look how pretty that is. I love the way this turned out. This one I think is my favorite, but let me know what you think down in the comments. So now DIY number 3. So this one I took that's called Sandstone by Waverly Chalk Paint. One of those little things that you could stick on glass. It has the seahorses on it. This frame that I got from the Dollar Tree has glass in it, and you're supposed to stick like a pitcher in between the two pieces of glass, but we're going to do something different with it. And I love these. I picked up a bunch of these, so when you see them, pick them up. So first I went around with the sandstone color and I just painted all the way around the whole frame. Then I went in with this it's called Dusk, and this is like a really light blue color by Waverly. It is a chalk paint, and I went around with my makeup sponge. I always pick up the makeup sponges, and I just dabbed, and I just kept dabbing. And this gave the picture frame texture, made it look like, it's going to help make it look like it's an underwater thing, because that's basically what we're making, is another underwater scene. And I went along the top of it as well, just dabbing all around the edges and making it look really, really pretty. And then I took that piece. This is like supposed to go on glass, so this is perfect. So I put it on one piece of the glass, one piece of the glass, and then I just kind of like rubbed it down. And I like how it looks like little bubbles too when you put it down on that actual piece. And then I just put it back down inside my frame, and then I took some more of those picks and I cut them down and I put them inside on each side of my seahorses. And now we're going to smush it in between those two pieces of glass, and then put the piece back down in that plastic piece and put it all back together. And then it has these little things that you just move down and it squishes it down. And there you go, you guys. Look how cute that is. This one was so easy and simple. So then I had these little seahorses and starfish. I think I got them I could have got them at the Dollar Tree, and I think I did last year. I haven't seen them this year though yet, but I had those in my stash, so I used them. And then these little seashells that you get in the glass jars from Dollar Tree, I took some of those, and I'm just going to stick some of them on the outside, on the bottom of my frame, just to kind of give it a little more something on the outside. And this is what topped it off. It turned out so super cute. And it was really hard to stick these down though and not try to burn my fingers. So yeah, but I did it, and I stuck them all down, and then I even stuck some down on the bottom as well, kind of sticking out a little bit, just to give it even more dimension. So this turned out so super cute, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, there it is. And yeah. So next I did DIY number 4. This is the last one. I took one of these canvas frames from the Dollar Tree, and it's already all made up. Some of the actual, the starfish, and some of that dusk, again, color, and I'm dabbing it with the makeup sponge again. You can use any sponge you have, sponge dabbers. They have them at the Dollar Tree. And then I took some of this material from the Dollar Tree, and I'm cutting strips. And I cut about 4 strips because we're going to make 4 long dangling like pieces that hang from that sign, that canvas sign that you saw. And I just keep stripping. I just cut a little piece and then you just rip it right off of the actual fabric. And then I just kind of laid them down, and now I put them in half, and now I'm going to cut those in half like so. And I did that with all of them. And I used 4 different kinds of material that I had from the Dollar Tree that had to do with nautical theme. And I did that with all of these. And then once I got all those cut, I took the rope, the nautical rope that you could get from the Dollar Tree. But if you don't have this rope, you could just use regular jute rope from the Dollar Tree, the thicker one. And I cut these in strips, you know, the length that I wanted them to be hanging from the sign. And then I took those and I glued them down to the back of the sign, which you'll see in a minute. And I just glued those down, and I just made sure they were, you know, evenly distributed on the bottom. So I did 1 on each side first, and then I stuck the 2 in the middle. So it kind of gave me, you know, so that they were kind of even. So I just kind of eyeballed it. I didn't like do actual measurements because I just don't do that. And then, yeah, after I glued these down, then we're going to glue down the starfish. Now, I did 2 of the starfish I left white, and 2 I did with that dusk color. And we're going to alternate them when we glue them down on these ropes. And I'm also going to kind of do 1 up and 1 a little bit down further. Oh, yes, and I also stapled because I felt like the glue just wasn't going to hold good enough. So I used my staple gun and I stapled the back of those as well, just to give it extra, you know, security there so it don't fall apart. And then I took the starfish, like I said, and I'm just going to put them kind of like that. I'm going to stagger them. And then I glued them down to the back of the rope. Now, these starfish are really light, so I wasn't worried about these falling off. But if you were worried about it, you can always take a piece of felt and just glue it from side to side, and that'll kind of hold them in place as well. But these stayed really well. I just held it there and made sure I pushed down really good until that glue dried up. And then once we get these on, I'm going to take those strips of fabric that I ripped, and I'm going to start tying them on to the rope. And I'm just going to tie them in a knot. And I'm going to keep doing that. And I'm just going to do like the different ones. Like I did 1 of 1 and then the next one. And I just kept going in that pattern on each one of these until I filled, you know, how much I wanted to have. Now you could put more of these on if you want. I basically did 1 of each on the top and then 1 of each on the bottom part of each rope. So 1, you know, I did 1 of each on the top there where the starfish were, and then at the bottom as well. And I did that for each one. And that was it, you guys. This DIY was so easy, so simple, and that's what it's all about. Simple DIYs for summer. And I absolutely love the way these turned out. I think they are so amazing. Make sure you go check out all the ladies because these ladies are so talented. And I absolutely love watching their channels and what they make. They inspire me as well. And it's so important that we inspire each other. And yeah. And so I just kept going. And I just showed you the one, the first one that I did. I didn't show you all the rest because I basically just tied them on. So it was really easy. And there it is, you guys. So you guys have to let me know which one's your favorite down below, which ones you liked. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, stay crafty. Bye.